Hi everyone, this is David. Welcome to sunny Savannah. Hope it's sunny where you are, either externally or internally. Also, welcome to week 2 of Writing 390. What I'm going to be trying to do in each of these weekly video lectures is to review the upcoming assignments that you're going to encounter that week. In this case, this is Wednesday, so maybe you've already had a chance to look at these assignments. Let's go over them together here in this lecture. Your week 2 assignments in this conference, as always, I want you to begin by looking at the week 2 overview. And in this week 2 overview, I lay out what I consider to be the secret to good writing. And that secret is, fortunately or unfortunately, going to be something that you hear me say a lot in this class. Here it is. There are no rules in writing. The audience rules. And by that I mean, in your writing, you should ask one question and one question only. What should I do in terms of the words I use, the content I choose, the format I deploy to put those words and content inside of? What should I choose that is most appropriate for the audience that I am communicating to? The question is never what is right or what is wrong in some kind of generalized standard sense. The question is always what is most appropriate and what will be most effective for my audience, period. Now, in doing this audience analysis, what I want you to do is to also think about the kind of format that your audience expects. And that's what I mean by number 1 here, targeting a template. Whether it's a business letter, a memo, an annual report, an employee evaluation, a good deed letter, whatever, your audience thinks in terms of templates and expects those templates. And you, as a writer, need to understand the expectations of your audience in terms of a template, and then transmit something that fulfills those expectations. And that's what I mean by number 2 here, cracking the code of the template, and number 3, transmitting that template. So with that brief overview in mind, let's look at your deliverables, which are to read the Unit 3 in your course guide, and then also Chapter 19 in your Bell and Smith text. In addition, there is a reserve reading that I want you to take a look at that's also going to be important in your work this week. After you've done that reading, go ahead and participate in the 2 main threads that you're going to find in this week's conference. Okay, let's take a look at those 2 threads. Thread number 1 is audience analysis. Audience analysis I want you to conduct in these 2 steps, keeping in mind that in writing there are no rules. The audience rules. And for you to meet the expectations and demands of that audience, in other words, to communicate with them effectively, I can't say it enough. You have to understand everything about them. And the most important thing that you can understand about them is what they want. Not what you want to say, not what impresses you, but giving them exactly what they want. The famous Japanese film director Kurosawa was once asked, "Sir, what makes your film so great?" He thought about it for a while and then replied, "I give the audience what they want to see." That's your job, to find out what they want to see, what they want to hear, what they need to hear, and then give it to them real good. It doesn't get more simple than that. So you're going to find out who your audience is, or be given tools to find out who your audience is, and then learn how to apply that understanding to your writing. So your first step is to identify the 3 most important tools, and those are the most important tools to you because those tools could vary from audience to audience, industry to industry, and then to apply those tools to a piece of sample business communication that you have authored. So in your post, I want you to do an audience analysis, but be sure to have that sample of business communication attached to your reply, to your post, so that we can judge how well you applied the tools of audience analysis. In addition to the readings that you have been given for this, I've also provided some helpful links to some different audience analysis sites. Here is one from a famous technical writing site, that divides up the types of audiences. You will need to pay attention to that. And then some different criteria that you can use to analyze your audience. Here you see those criteria in, guess what, a bullet list. Another thing you're going to find out in this course is about the demise of the wall of words, or the alphabet soup, and learn how to divide your writing up into lists, into chunks. And indeed, you've been introduced to that principle in conference number 1 called the New Literacy. And that's what you see the author is doing here with chunks and using formatting tools to set off those different chunks. So you've got some good websites here. Here's another one for speakers and presenters, if that applies to you. And then one for business communicators. So I should have all your bases covered here. Business communication, motivational speakers and oral presentations, and then technical writers. In addition, I have also uploaded some material here that also divides up types of writing and types of audiences. Here you see you can have an audience of technicians, an audience of experts, an audience of decision makers. And that's another way to look at audience. And it looks like Daniel Zuckerman has already uploaded something. In addition, you will also see something that I do every week, beginning in week 2, which is to give you models to follow. Remember how we talked just a minute ago about the importance of templates? Well, I give you templates to follow when submitting your post for these conferences, and I also give you templates to follow for each paper that you're going to turn in your assignment folder. Here are the models for your response to this thread in Conference 2.